It's official. This Diddy trial has ripped off its polite gloves and is now throwing haymakers nobody saw coming. What started as Cassie's horrifying story has exploded into something far bigger than any gossip blog could have imagined. Forget the usual celebrity dirt. We're talking federal courtrooms buzzing with unheard audio, leaked whispers painting vivid pictures, and a tidal wave of old footage dragging serious Hollywood heavyweights into the muck. The internet is practically on fire. The streets buzzing with whispers. And you can bet the people involved are questioning every single life choice they've ever made. So, what just went down? After weeks of the prosecution laying out Cassie's alleged nightmare, the abuse, the infamous freak-offs, Diddy's iron-fisted control, the whole thing took a sharp, unexpected turn. Court insiders and online. Leaks say the focus has now laser-locked onto audio recordings. And not just any old tapes. We're talking allegedly raw, explicit recordings reportedly featuring Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill. Yeah, this isn't some Twitter rumor that vanishes overnight. These recordings are allegedly being played in open court, sending shockwaves through the room. It all started with that hotel lobby video from a few days ago. No sound, just visuals. Most people figured that was the big reveal. But sources deep inside now claim that behind closed doors, the audio was played. And it left the courtroom frozen in stunned silence. Phones were banned. Journalists couldn't record, just complete, heavy silence. One witness described the clip as undeniably graphic, male on male. The kind of thing that makes a room freeze, because you know you've just heard something serious. And if that wasn't enough to make jaws drop, the story got even wilder. Right after the audio was played, a new list of witnesses was announced. And these aren't random clout chasers. These are ex-Bad Boy artists, former staff, people from Diddy's inner circle. They toured with him, partied at his mansions. They allegedly saw things firsthand. People who may have stayed silent for years, but now, under legal protection, they're reportedly ready to talk. One of those voices? Dawn Richard. You might remember her from Danity Kane, one of Diddy's former girl groups. She recently testified. Then, she was photographed looking completely drained and shaken as she left the courthouse, swarmed by paparazzi. Insiders say her testimony backed up Cassie's claims, and that she flat out admitted Diddy did some truly messed up things.
I think Dawn said is after she saw Diddy beat Cassie the next day,
he came in the room
and threatened her.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Dawn is testifying that exactly what she talked about in her civil suit. In addition to some other things that they were in a house in LA in 2009. Diddy beat Cassie because Cassie wasn't finished allegedly making his food on time. And the next day he came in the room to talk to her and her band member, and he basically told them, allegedly said he told them, don't say anything. What y'all saw up there was passion. And when people say stuff about things like this about me, they end up missing.
That's not speculation. That's reportedly in the official court transcripts. And then there's Diddy's daughter. If you needed a clear, haunting image of how serious this has become, it was her, walking out of that courtroom. No arrogance, no attitude, just a blank, pale, utterly silent expression. Even the relentless paparazzi didn't dare to shout questions. She didn't even look up. Sources claim her reaction came immediately after the audio was played, which only amplifies the disturbing weight of what might have been heard inside. Because now, this isn't just legal trouble for Diddy. This is about shattered reputations, a family legacy hanging by a thread, and a web of secrets tangled around some of the biggest names in entertainment. And let's talk about that name drop, Will Smith. This wasn't some offhand mention. It's reportedly directly connected to the court audio. And the second Will Smith's name hit the headlines in connection with the Diddy case, the internet went nuclear. Old clips, awkward side interviews, podcast snippets. Suddenly, every past interaction between Will and Diddy was being dissected under a brutal new light. One interview that resurfaced and exploded online was from comedian Luenell, who casually mentioned, and I quote, that Diddy and Will were clapping each other's cheeks. She said it so casually the first time that most people barely noticed. Not this time. This time, it erupted. Memes were born. Speculation snowballed. The rabbit hole went deeper and darker. Fans began revisiting old footage of Will and his son, Jaden Smith, those affectionate kisses. The overly playful energy that once seemed like quirky father-son bonding, now, people are watching them through a completely different and unsettling lens. The tone of the commentary shifted, from amusement to genuine discomfort. Then came the nuclear moment. Brother Bal, Will Smith's former assistant, dropped a shocking set of allegations that made everything harder to dismiss as just gossip. He claimed he personally witnessed Will engage in explicit acts, even described in graphic detail a moment where Will allegedly touched another man intimately. And that wasn't even the most shocking part. Bilal went further. He claimed he once walked in on Will and Dwayne Martin in a compromising position.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, well, but I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne.
His words, not mine. After Brother Bal dropped that bombshell about Dwayne Martin, the internet basically turned into a digital crime scene investigation unit. Fans weren't waiting for any official media confirmation. They started digging up every clip, every photo, every old interview where Diddy and Will were seen together, hugging, laughing, standing close like best buddies. The visual evidence started piling up, directly contradicting the image Will had always worked so hard to protect. Then Will tried to shut it all down with a firm denial. His exact quote, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." Except his denial backfired spectacularly. The moment he said it, Twitter and Reddit exploded with receipts. Photos and videos showing him and Diddy very much near each other. At parties, in clubs, award shows, just hanging out. The evidence wasn't subtle. It was overwhelming. Now people weren't just suspicious, they felt lied to. This is where Meek Mill got dragged deeper into the spotlight. His name reportedly came up during the courtroom playback of those alleged freak-off tapes. Once that hit the news, it was chaos. Unlike Will, who at least tried to deny it calmly, Meek went into full meltdown mode. His Twitter turned into a non-stop storm of defensive posts. And honestly, the more he tweeted, the more convinced people became that something was definitely off. Thing is, Meek's name has been linked to Diddy's for years. Fans used to joke about their dynamic, calling Meek names like Diddy's intern, Pocket, Puppet, and even darker, unrepeatable things. At the time, most dismissed it as trolling. But now, those old jokes are being dug up and re-examined like pieces of a puzzle finally clicking into place. And yeah, the internet found receipts on Meek too. One viral video showed him at a party with billionaire Michael Rubin, acting childlike and awkward. People pointed out how uncomfortable he looked, like he was trying to laugh something off, but the energy just felt wrong. A voice in the background could even be heard laughing, almost taunting him. Then there's the infamous clip of Diddy throwing Meek a birthday party. Seems normal until you realize it's filled with shirtless men by the pool. And Diddy on camera calls Meek Daddy, saying, "Proud of you. I love you. I appreciate life, Daddy." The internet didn't let that slide. Every time Meek tried to post something projecting a tough image, fans threw that clip right back at him. Daddy became an instant, inescapable meme. When he finally tweeted, "I'm not fruity. Stop playing with me." The replies were a flood of screenshots, old tweets, and videos of him looking undeniably cozy with Diddy. But what's really got people hooked, the thing fueling this relentless online investigation, is the mystery of the actual audio. So far, not a single second has leaked. No shaky phone footage, no whispered snippet, not even a blurry screenshot from inside the courtroom. Just secondhand summaries from people who were allegedly there. And that silence? It's deafening. One insider described the audio as allegedly capturing a man being assaulted, while Diddy laughed in the background. That's how dark the whispers have become. There was even a quick rumor online, debunked almost immediately, claiming someone had a recording of Meek and Diddy in an intimate act. Whether that was real or just someone chasing clout is still debated, but the fact that it gained any traction shows the sheer intensity of the speculation. And the fact that no audio has surfaced, in an era where everything leaks, only adds to the suspicion. Because in the US legal system, you don't usually withhold evidence unless there's a damn good reason. Journalists are starting to ask tough questions. If this audio is so crucial, so damning, why hasn't it been made public? Some argue it's to protect the dignity of those involved. Others believe it's because the audio is just too explosive, implicating too many famous names, too much money, too much power behind the scenes. And if this ever leaks, it might not. Just ruin reputations. It could obliterate careers, trigger lawsuits, cancel billion-dollar deals, and even expose people who haven't been named yet. Because let's be real, if Diddy, Will, and Meek are just the tip of the iceberg, then who else is caught in this? As crazy as the allegations are, the most disturbing part of this whole saga is the silence. We live in an age where nothing stays secret. iCloud hacks, leaked documents, courtroom audio. Everything finds its way online. Eventually, but not this. Not a single sliver of the alleged Diddy tapes has surfaced. No clip, no whisper, no image. That silence screams volumes. And it's got people asking one central question: who is protecting this? Because let's be honest, this stopped being just about Diddy and Cassie weeks ago. This is about a potential network, a deeply embedded culture that's operated for years behind fame, money, and power. One that's only now being exposed thanks to federal pressure, and the survivors finally feeling safe enough to speak. We are witnessing the public unraveling of a man who once seemed untouchable. Diddy wasn't just a music mogul. He was hip-hop, television, fashion, politics. He threw the Vote or Die campaign. He partied with billionaires. He was a brand, a symbol, a machine, and now that image is falling apart in real time. In hindsight, the red flags were always there. From the bizarre interviews, the intense control over artists, to the mysterious disappearances of acts who left Bad Boy, Mace, The Lox, Day 26, gone. Aubrey O'Day tried sounding the alarm for years. People ignored her. Now the courtroom is listening. Don Richards' testimony reportedly added major weight to Cassie's claims, painting a picture not just of difficult behavior, but of alleged predation. And the fallout isn't just hitting Diddy. Will Smith, already bruised from the Oscar slap, now finds his image hanging by a thread. If the rumors are true and he's on those tapes, this isn't just another PR mess. It's career ending. As for Meek, the internet has already judged him. No charges, no trial, but in the court of public opinion, he's done. Because that's the brutal truth of the digital age. Once your name is linked to something this dark, innocence might not matter. And yet official silence continues. No statement, no explanation, no confirmation, no denial, which makes the tapes even more radioactive. Too many names, too much power, too many secrets. So now we wait, in limbo. The legal wheels keep turning, the internet keeps digging. The accused keep acting like nothing's wrong, but this won't fade away, because the internet never forgets, and it doesn't forgive cover-ups. And if those tapes ever leak, they won't just expose Diddy. They might expose the very machine behind Hollywood's power, wealth, and protection. The velvet curtain is being pulled back, and what's behind it might be far darker than any of us imagined.